We're going to be starting our video series making a sachet shawl. This is your sachet yarn. They have some with the shiny thread in it. They have some with sequins. They have some with the fake fur. Okay, and this is what the sachet yarn looks like, all stretched out. Okay, these are what I'm going to call our small loops. And this is where I'm going to call my finish edge. So right now we're going to be working with the small loops up on top. And what we're going to do so that we can get rid of or hide this frayed edge is we're going to roll it 3 times into itself. So that'll be 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we're going to take our crochet hook, we're going to stick it right in there. Now in the beginning it does make it a little easier to work with a smaller hook, and then once you're past the first row, the bigger hooks, if it's more comfortable for your hands, you can use. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the next 6 loops from back to front, every loop. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to take the 7th loop from front to back. Then we're going to grab all of this and pull it through. Okay, and we're going to be doing that once again. So 6 more loops from back to front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And again, the 7th loop from front to back. Okay, we're just going to pull that all right through. Okay, and what that does, that creates your first row, and it gives you all this ruffle that we can use to work our next row into. Okay, to get to your next row, what we're going to do is we're going to take our crochet hook, we're going to go all the way to the bottom loop, straight down. So you follow this row straight down. We're going to stick our crochet hook right through the loop. We're going to take it, twist it. See, we're taking the thing and we're twisting it up, and we're going to go into the next loop. I am skipping one and going in, and then we're going to pull all this through. Okay, now what that does, that gives you back to the top where you're working on the finish edge. Okay, so what we're going to do is for this next row, we're working from the finish edge. We'll go through every single loop on the finish edge. So we go through the first loop, and on the part where we're going to continue on, the small squares, we're going to go every other. Okay, so we're going to be doing this for about 6 rows. So we're going to go in through there, and we're going to pull it right through. So again, every hole with the finished edge, we're going through every hole. And then with the other end, we're skipping and going through a second. So every other for the small, and every single on the finished edge. There were a lot of people who had questions on how to get to your additional yarn to add on, how to finish off. So once I get to that, I will be showing you guys how to do that, just to make sure. And make sure that you're always going into the top row and not skipping into the second row. Okay, we're almost finished with this row, so I'll be able to show you one more time how we move down to the next row And by doing every other with the bottom row, what that does is it gives you double the amount of ruffle for the next row. Okay, so we're at the end. I went through the last hole. So to turn it around again, we're going to take this, we're going to open it up, we're going to go straight down to the bottom. Okay, we're going to flip the rest, and we're going to go into the second hole. So second hole, and we're going to pull it through. What that does is we are now working on row number 3. Now what helps is to keep everything stretched out. So I hold it like this, and when I go to the part that I need to crochet into, I hold it like this so I can easily see that I'm on the top loop and which loop I'm going into. I am going to pause the video until I get to the end of the yarn. Another tip is while you're doing the first roll of yarn, try and make sure there's no knots or where it's cut and sewn back together. It just doesn't really look nice. I will show you what to do. It's the same as if we're switching yarns for your next, if you run out of your first roll. You just cut off the rough edges and then cover them. Okay, I am almost to the end of this row and to the end of the yarn. So as you can see, I did upgrade to a bigger hook just for comfort. And if you don't have the comfort grip hooks, you can always add a pencil grip to the ones that it'll fit. Okay, so I'm going to show you a quick few things. We're going to show you how to do the add-on, and I'm going to show you how far across the edge that I go, because I don't go all the way to the very end. So as we get close to the end, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we can catch both yarns at least 3 times. So we are going to be taking the new yarn, and this will work whether you have a knot and cut it or if you're adding on another roll. Okay, so we make sure we go through the finished edge. We're coming into, we always start with the one we already have, and we go to the next full hole. So that one's not full and this one is. So we'll go into that one, and we'll leave both of these edges on the hook and bring up the other 2. Okay, so again, single, and then we're going into both of the yarns, the finish end. Again, we're still skipping one and still skipping one. We're leaving both of those on the needle, and we're coming up. So I think this is the last one for our end here. And so again, leave both of those on. So let me get to the edge here, show you how far I get, and I'll show you how much one roll of yarn has done. I'm in the 7th row. It's taken me approximately 2 hours for the one roll to get as far as I have. Again, I will show you real quick how close I get to the edge, because I don't go all the way in to the very end where I can't go any further. I go until it's just about a straight line down. So we are about as far as I'm going to want to go. Usually I go one more than what I consider a straight edge. And this is how far one roll of yarn has gotten me. So we have our starting row. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I did 7 rows at skipping 1. So now for the next row, I'm going to be doing every hole because I don't need it to get any wider. So now I just need to make it longer. Okay, and when I am saving my work, I put it down like this, and then I twist this around. Okay, and this also helps so it doesn't slide down in this direction, and this helps so that I know where I'm at. And then when I stick it in my bag, I make sure that the hook is right on top. Okay, as you can tell, I'm at the end of my row, and I'm going to show you how to tie off and finish. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull with my last hole. I'm going to pull all of this through it. Okay. I'm going to cut this. And what we're going to do is we are going to put this in the hole and make a knot right at the end. Okay, get it nice and close, nice and small and tight. And I'm going to do one more knot. And again, right, I'm going to do it just below the other knot, or right on top of. Try to keep it nice and tight, nice and small, so that you won't see it much. And then you just cut off the extra, and we're done. Now I want to show you how long this is. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rows on this one. I like mine to go towards the bottom of the back and not the mid back. So this is what we look like. Okay, now through the part where you're coming up to an end where you've joined your 2 yarns together, let's see if I can find a spot. What you're going to do is you're going to line up the 2 pieces, because remember when at the top of that row we lined them up so that it's connected by 3 holes to keep them together and to put the 2 yarns together. So what that's going to do, that's going to give you about 3 holes also on the bottom that you can fold over and meet. Now if your yarn is a little crooked, you might end up with like 4 holes. Just line them up so that they match and don't cross, or, and I don't even see it blends in so well that I can't find it. Just make sure you line it up so that it lays kind of flat. So this one is done. It took me about I'm guessing like 8 hours. So this will be the end of my first tutorial video. Actually the second one, I did one for the wreath, but for the first in the series. So I hope you like it, and I hope you'll see me back for the next section in about 2 weeks. All right, I'll talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.